But
Right.
I would say, just split testing maybe different types of campaigns against each other, split testing, and then doing CBO versus non-CBO. And within each ad set, just as we were doing, just split testing every element of the ad. To copy the creative, the landing, if there's multiple landing pages, and kind of doing it in a structured method where we're really like split testing every method and having some automated rules to kill, as you said, as the ad spends beyond a certain amount. But yeah, I mean, seeing here, this is like some good early initial data, but yeah, you just gotta like kind of just build up that funnel and drive colder, some good intent colder traffic to the ad, and then start building that funnel out and retargeting them. Maybe trying some more kind of reach campaigns, or trying something other than conversion, because conversion tends to be a little bit more expensive. So maybe when you're starting out to build out that funnel, maybe trying something where it's a reach or brand awareness play to a certain audience, and then retarget them, because it's a little bit less expensive than a conversion ad. So I sometimes find that if you're prospecting, to do a mix of conversion campaigns and sometimes these other campaigns that have a tendency to be a little bit cheaper. One rule of thumb is we don't really do traffic to cold or to really cold broad campaigns, because traffic it's a little bit of a cheaper audience. You'll get a lot of traffic, but it won't be good, a good audience. But I just find that sometimes prospecting early, you want to build that funnel, and like you'll reap the rewards at the end of the funnel when people start purchasing. But it's like in the beginning, you have to like warm them up to the product. Maybe do some long form videos and then target the people who watch 50%. Some of those like little tips and tricks, but doing what you were doing before with the lookalikes was like pretty interesting. So maybe doing an iteration of that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done, like we were talking about, doing other campaigns other than conversion. Like we've done like paid post engagement campaigns for $10 or $20, and then like in setting up a retargeting, like whoever watched 25% or 95% of the video, to try to fill up the retargeting campaigns, and just to get more initial traffic that's less expensive.
Yeah.
We've also done, like, this is a new smartphone holder we just launched yesterday, and what they've been recommending in the course is we'll do basically 3 different audiences, testing out different budgets: 20, 10, 5, and 3. Doing one just US 18 plus, very broad, and then for this we did an iPhone X and then Android devices. So this was like a 70-something million audience, and then this was like a 12 million. So like something like very like really broad targeting, and then like 2 like interest based that are more narrow targeting. Just as this is 12 million. That's the smallest one. Testing different budgets. So all conversion. So that's like for new products, that's what we've been experimenting. But yeah, I guess we could also do like an engagement campaign with retargeting also. But we've been probably like just to start out, just because we want to really test as many products as we can until we find one that has some traction, and then try to add implement other things. So just in terms of saving time on the front end, just we're doing this method with the 3 different audiences to see if it gets any purchases or gets any traction, and then trying to build from there.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is a very broad audience item, so I mean, it might not make sense, but I'm someone that still believes in more specific audiences. And I mean, obviously split testing them against broad audiences, but people like just running straight broad audiences. But I do like sometimes that like 1 million, to 3 million sometimes for a certain product. For this, it's so broad, so it might not be necessary. But yeah, I mean, the methodology running the other campaigns. When you're ready to retarget people and you've built up that the people who have added to cart or maybe the people who have visited the webpage, then the conversion campaign makes a little more sense. It's that initial prospecting where those conversion type of campaigns cost so much and you're not really getting the purchase conversion. You're just building traffic. You might want to try other engagement, PPEs, reach, brand awareness as a play of just getting people to watch that video, bringing them into the funnel, and then doing conversion campaigns along the way, further down. Yeah,
Okay.
that's just one methodology, one idea. Yeah.
Okay.
But the split testing different products is, this is the phone case is like a really broad audience, so it's definitely something interesting to test.
Yeah, this is a 360 degree smartphone holder. The other campaign was just a regular smartphone holder. My partner has it's like a mobile. It's called the mobile merch. It's basically a smartphone, like a smartphone niche site that we're testing some other products on. And we're in the process of building a pet themed site also. I'm going to test some products on there too. So, but yeah, like you mentioned, that was the other thing that they taught in the course initially when we first signed up, as far as testing products, is setting up a PPE campaign and then setting up the retargeting audiences for like video view, like for engagement, and then also for conversions. Yeah, as the first thing, just to bring in a lot of traffic because it's less expensive. And we're looking basically, as far as a testing budget for each product, to do like $100 to $200 max, but to get a sense of whether it's something we want to continue building on. So the other conversion method was that's basically set to spend around like $100 a day with those three broad audiences. But yeah, we could also do it with like a PPE and retargeting to spend about $100. So those are two different options that we could do to test each product.
Yeah, I think that could be something to try. So you said you were testing about $100 to $200 a day for each product.
Yeah, well, like in terms of the total spends, like we had one other product where it got, we killed it after $150. Like it had one purchase, but only one purchase, only a couple like add to carts, initiate checkouts. If it's so we decided not to continue with that one, and like for this one we started this morning and spent about $36 so far without a purchase. I guess that's what we're trying to feel out, is like what's a good kind of killing threshold, in terms of like using either of these two testing methods. Whether $100, $200, probably not more than $200. I don't think we want to spend before moving on to another product, because we just, with the name of the game with drop shipping, is that we just have to test a lot of different products before we find one or more that have traction, just so we're not spending too much time and money on products that aren't going to get any traction. So that's kind of the game plan now. But yeah, just curious to hear your thoughts about that, as far as like a testing, like a budget threshold for testing.
I usually I test like kind of quickly to kind of take the waiting out of it and get an answer quicker. I'll put the budgets up a little higher, but each day is different. So like if you're testing the different products on different days, you're like adding one more variable to the test.
Yeah.
So that's kind of another like $3 daily budget. It's just going to take you like 2 or 3 weeks to learn anything. So I would say, like, especially on a Sunday, Saturday where e-com's heavy, I'd ramp the budgets up over the weekend and get the learnings quicker and keep testing your methodology of testing, but especially now we're on Saturday morning, and I like to bump my budgets up Saturday through Monday. Monday mornings also are good. So I find that that's and Sundays are the best, obviously. So that's just one other thing to kind of think about.
Okay.
You know, testing maybe a little bit higher budgets in a shorter time, and being more cognizant of the days and times we're testing. Because I mean, you know, a Wednesday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, nobody's on, you know, Facebook. It's like a very low purchase time, and if that's where you're basing your numbers off of for one particular product, that might be skewed kind of data, or
Yeah.
a skewed idea of what was working or what not working.
Yeah, like we're starting, like for each product we're starting the budgets like first thing in the morning. Like this one we set it to start right at like at midnight. And that's what we'll do for each one, so we can get the full time of the day. But yeah, they're like factoring in the weekends also. That's something we'll take into consideration. And yeah, I mean as far as testing, you know, like having like lower budget, like what they recommend is, you know, just seeing which, you know, like because certain budgets may work better for certain products. I mean that's the rationale behind testing different having the four different budgets for the same audience to see, you know, and usually so far it's usually been the $10 or $20 ad sets that have gotten the purchase, you know, just because they're getting the most traffic, obviously. But there have been a few instances where like a $5 or a $3 ad set will get a purchase. But that's just the rationale behind this testing, is seeing, you know, that like lower budgets may work better for certain audiences and certain products.
Interesting. Well, it's definitely interesting. So we're the CBOs. You have CBOs going for this product?
Not like we just started this for the 360 smartphone holder. So we're just doing this isn't a CBO campaign. This CBO we've had going for. Let's move this out of the way here. When did that start? On the 7th. So yeah, this one has been going for, it's about break even. ROAS is right around this 1.4, so it's around break even. It's been going for 3 days, but basically it's 12 ad sets, 100. We tried at one point bumping the budget up because I knew when we first started it initially the ROAS was up pretty high within the first I think like $20 or $30 of spend. So I tried bumping the budget up to 200, but that didn't. Then it got one other purchase, so then I brought it back down gradually to 100, and then it started, yesterday, then it got like 4 more purchases. So that's where this one is. We got one. This has gotten the most purchases, but it's not profitable.
Yeah, the CBO, it's so interesting. It's still allocating kind of evenly to those other ad sets. Yeah, these are interesting. Like, what's that 15% lookalike? Like, what was that? 20?
Yeah,
I didn't even know you could do it.
Yeah, it's using it. Well, it's using an app called Trackify. My partner used it. He set up the lookalike. So yeah, you can set 1 through 10, and you could also set a 15% and a 20% lookalike using that app also.
Wow. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I've seen that. No, I do. I like the CBO. It's really good if you have a bunch of ad sets and you don't know what's working and you want to gain insight. So this is kind of the position you're in. That's why I like CBOs. By where I work, we don't do a lot of ad sets within each campaign. So CBO is going to be harder for us to implement when it goes, platform wide. So it's just, I think you should take advantage of maybe trying more CBOs as you're testing all these different audiences. It's just, you can implement less rules and it's a little bit more efficient when Facebook is just doing that, allocating for you.
Would you recommend, because one thing that they mentioned and that I saw is that you can set basically kind of cost controls for each ad set. Right here, like having the spend limits, so you can do minimum and maximum spend. Would you particularly in the beginning with testing? Have you experimented with that, and that has if you've had any success with setting minimum and maximums for the ad sets, just so there aren't one ad set doesn't spend too much? Because I noticed when we were doing the hamster, some of the CBOs you set up, there were once an ad set would get traction, it would it would wind up overspending on that ad set, and then it would no longer be profitable. So I'm just curious if you've experimented with this.
Yeah, I've experimented with the automated rules, and which is similar. But this in particular, I haven't, setting it at the ad set level like this. So it could be interesting to test, because it's definitely will make it more efficient. I would definitely try it. I haven't tried it. Maybe doing some more automated rules within the ad set level could also be helpful. But I'm actually curious myself about this. I think it's relatively new, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Well, cool. I think that's I just wanted to go over the couple campaigns we're working on. Because we're still very new to CBO. That was another thing, because I've heard kind of conflicting results about, like, when you have a CBO running, do you on a lower budget, maybe like $100 or $200, have you seen that, like, when you kill off ad sets within the CBO that aren't profitable, that affects the whole the performance of the campaign overall? Because I've heard, just like within the mastermind calls, that someone who has been running a lot of different campaigns, he noticed that for lower budget campaigns, that when he killed off non-performing ad sets, that it really just killed the performance of the CBOs overall. But like with higher budget, like with this new scaling strategy they recommend, like a $2,000 budget, that then it has enough data that it doesn't really affect it. So I'm just curious what you've seen with that.
I mean, I would kind of just say to not shorten it, to keep it like what you would have allocated per ad set at the traditional, before they did CBO. So if it's, you want to do test $20 per ad set, and there's 20, audiences, then I would do $400. I wouldn't like skimp out. Like, I would do, like, make sure it's allocating how much you want for each. Okay. So if it's 20, then that's kind of what I would keep it higher and not try to under set it. This kind of the thinking. I agree with what you said.
Okay, but as far as killing like the for the ad sets that aren't performing within the campaign, do you usually kill those off as it's going to, and so like even on the lower budget, like $200 or even like a $400 ad set? I'm sorry, campaign, the $400 campaign.
I mean, I think if my method is when you get to the when the ad set gets to 2.5 times CPA and the results aren't, sufficient, then I kill it, whether it's a CBO or normal. I wouldn't keep it going.
Okay.
I would kill it so that Facebook then continues to allocate in the better performing ones. Otherwise, it's going to keep. I mean, that's the way I understand it. But that is a good question. Could be a good question for the Facebook reps, because we do see them once a week. I'm going to hit them.
Yeah, it's and they said, like, in the mastermind, like, take it with a grain of salt, because it's all very. I mean, it's all very new, that everyone's just really focusing on CBO now that Facebook is announced they're going to entirely transition over to that. So it's, I mean, there are probably instances where it would work, and maybe for this one I'll just probably set up some rules. None of these ad sets have spent probably right around the CPA right now for some of these ad sets. But like maybe setting up rules for 2 times the target CPA to kill off the ad sets and see how that goes. Trying the rules, maybe trying the minimum maximum, doing CBOs versus non-CBOs. I'd recommend, upping maybe the budgets over the next 2 to 3 days, just as, you'll get more results quicker, and you'll just, the testing will be just done faster, and not at like $3 a day is like this slow process of like. Yeah, that's kind of what I would do. Okay.
You get a lot of insights over the weekend. You get a lot of good insights, and then you are able to implement on them the next week.
Yeah. Okay. Um, as far as other when you said you like the you kill off ad sets that aren't performing, besides like if it doesn't have purchases, like add to carts or initiate check, like what are generally the metrics that you're looking at to other metrics you're looking at in making that decision?
So I look at the lower funnel metrics. I look at ROAS. I look at CPA. I like to look at cost per add to cart. I like to sometimes look at click through rate. I like to as an acknowledge see if that audience, if that creative is working well with that particular audience. That's kind of a good test of how the creative's doing. I like to look at CPMs as a basic metric of, is this an efficient campaign we're running? Cost per, CPA I mentioned is like, I like to really like make sure I'm using that when determining how to killer, that's kind of the first metric is CPA. It's really basing a lot of it off that, but using kind of those middle metrics to determine, is this creative working? Is there engagement? Maybe, looking at unique landing page views versus unique link clicks to see, are people dropping off before they get to the page? Is there maybe website issues or some external thing happening that is not Facebook related? So yeah, you're looking at, I like to do unique everything, unique outbound click-through rate. I can show you some of the things I set up. It could be set up in one of our other ones, but let me get one open really quick. Hold on.
Okay. Yeah, I also was looking at like unique content views, cost per unique content view.
Yeah.
One thing
I do unique outbound clicks, unique landing page views, outbound click-through rate, cost per unique outbound click. I do you want to look at frequency. Sometimes I overlook frequency myself, and just to make sure people aren't getting bombarded. Frequency and CPM we sometimes don't look at all the time with ecom and the performance stuff. But you want to make sure people aren't getting bombarded. So take a look at frequency. I put all the way at the end sometimes.
What does frequency measure exactly?
Frequency measures how much each person is getting an impression.
I see. Okay.
I like to set it as a 2 per 1 day. Sometimes you'll see on the ad set level you set a frequency cap. It's set automatically to 1 a week or whatever. But I like to do 2 for every 1 day. And that's just it's just something to look at, when you're running hundreds of ad sets. Of course, there's going to be some audience overlap and there's going to be some frequency, upticks, but it's just something to make sure you're not bombarding people, because people will start to, vote your, you get that thing in the corner where you can say this ad is bothering me or whatever, and it lowers your relevancy score and then it under delivers. Okay. So there's just stuff like that, looking at some of those upper funnel metrics to make sure things are working, but then really CPA, ROAS, and the purchases, basically is I look at the performance metrics, first and foremost when making those decisions. But the other ones can just help you determine is this creative working? Is this audience resonating with this product? And that's kind of with the unique click-through rate, unique outbound clicks to see if there's real engagement. Sometimes you'll see link clicks is bullshit. You want unique outbound clicks. That's actually clicks that are taking people to the landing page, and it's unique individuals. So that's a better number to gauge Link clicks, sometimes it gets confusing because there's so many unique outbound clicks. Yeah, unique outbound and unique click-through rate.
Okay.
You can do unique outbound click-through rate also. It's something interesting to see the difference.
So
and you even, like as I was saying, yeah, you can do unique click-through rate also.
Right. Okay.
Unique CTR. Yeah, unique CTR.
Just like give me a unique like an outbound click. Is that someone that's clicking off of your landing page once they're already there? I'm not understanding exactly what an outbound click is.
Link clicks that you have up. The first one up top here is any click on the ad. Anybody that clicks any part of the ad. So that's always going to be higher than unique outbound clicks or outbound clicks. Outbound clicks are clicks that are taking people to the landing page.
Okay, but that's so. Is that? But that isn't a so like a. Probably is it like would a unique content view kind of be the best metric of people that are actually viewing your landing page as opposed to like even an outbound click. I guess is there a difference between an outbound click, like someone could click but not actually make it click on the link but then not actually make it to actually see the landing page. Is that basically how that works?
Well, you can do this right now. We can see what's happening. So what you want to do is you want to have unique outbound clicks and then unique landing page views. So find the landing page views and then set them next to each other, and we'll see if there's like a big drop off. And then that's more of a unique.
Okay.
That one perfect.
So is a landing page view that's basically the same as a view content then?
Yes.
Okay. So that's
definitely yes. So apply. Let's see what the number is, and So we'll look at unique landing page views versus unique outbound clicks, and if there's a big difference, then we know it's there could be a website issue, a site speed issue. I mean, there's not a ton of data here, so it doesn't look like there's anything crazy. Not a huge drop-off. I've seen 50% where you're like, oh, my Shopify store needs like some serious optimization, so we can't really run Facebook ads because you're not even getting half the people clicking in. I had this issue when I started doing like just drop shipping. Like I started a Shopify drop shipping and I didn't optimize the Shopify store at all. And I had a bunch of people clicking and then nobody getting to the landing page. So no, you're fine. It's just looking at those middle metrics to kind of make sure everything's running, make sure you're spending your money efficiently, and then using those lower funnel metrics, CPA and ROAS, to make your hard decisions off of.
Okay. It's interesting. The unique content views, the unique landing page views are actually slightly different. The unique pen is a little bit lower.
Yeah.
So it's
some of this is some of it is it's just the naming conventions and maybe Googling like specifically what they mean by unique content views versus landing page views.
Okay.
As I understand, link clicks versus unique outbound click links, like people who will click into a video and just watch the video, that'll count as a link click. Sometimes people will I feel like physically click on the ad, that'll count as a link click sometimes. So you want to see people who are actually getting to your page, actually engaging, and using those unique, quote unquote, unique metrics are really helpful in getting it on an individual basis and knowing that real number.
Okay. So, but as far as this is like 129 to 87, so that's not too big of a drop off in terms of the people. I mean, usually you'll see a drop off between even for because just testing the loading speed with of the site was only 1.5 seconds. It was pretty fast. Pretty quality store. So this is just pretty par for the course as far as this kind of a drop off.
Yeah, no, this is totally normal. It'd be more of a 30% difference, and then you're okay, there's something wrong here. But even, like I was saying before, like using like unique landing page view versus landing page views, you'll just see a better number with unique of like, because the landing page views will be a lot higher because they'll have multiple people maybe viewing. So using that unique is helpful in that way. I just wanted to like make that clear.
Okay, gotcha.
You're totally fine with that's just something to keep a look at. Landing page views versus link clicks, the relation between the two. It's good for knowing the engagement, if the audience is engaging and actually clicking into the ad. So I would keep some of these open. Definitely don't get bogged down by all of them. Like the unique content views, I don't know what that could be. It's just rhetoric. It's just their naming convention.
Yeah, it's got to be similar to this, but yeah, it's there's so many. There's just so many different metrics.
Like click-through rate all and CPC all can be really they just like fool. Like they're not really like. It's just not something I would use to base off any decisions. I would use unique outbound click-through rate and unique click-through rate versus that metric. But definitely like seeing the difference can be helpful. But I would take more stock in unique click-through rate versus click-through rate all.
Okay. Yeah, because I was looking at between unique outbound click-through rate and unique click-through rate, it looked pretty similar. So does that mean that there's not, I guess, that much of a drop-off between people that are just clicking on the ad as opposed to people clicking on the link itself to the outbound website? Is that basically what that means? Hello? Are you there?
Yo, I lost you for a second. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was just asking that. It probably it's just the difference between the outbound click-through rate and unique click-through rate look very similar here. Yeah, I'm just getting kind of confused with all these.
It's basically it's really the same. It's really very similar. Click-through rate I kind of use as like just is this creative? I use it on the ad set level and the ad level. Even using that on the ad level to see, are people clicking into this ad? Are people engaging with this ad? And then using that in relation to this, is that audience working with this ad? And click-through rate is a good indicator of that. Sometimes, like if you're running a more specific audience, it's going to be higher, just intuitively, than a broad audience. But if you're running a bunch of specific audiences, like I kind of sometimes like to do, and you want to see which audience is working better, it's just another metric to use. Did this audience click into this ad? Were they engaged enough to click in and take them to the landing page? So I look at it at the ad set level, and the ad level as well.
Okay.
When it's split testing different, you split test all these different creatives, and it's sometimes hard to use all of the lower funnel metrics when split testing the creatives and determining which creatives you want to keep running and kill. So then I will use some of those higher funnel metrics for the ad level and killing and optimizing there.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is a good overview of everything. This gives us enough to work with. Just as I imagine, we're just going to be testing a lot of products. Still not sure if this one has legs, but I'll definitely I'll keep in touch if we just to go over one once we've tested more and have another potential product that we can that either we're scaling or could potentially scale. Definitely get back in touch to get your input on it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I appreciate the time.
Yeah, likewise. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Have a good day. Have a good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.